As Trump tried to buy Buffalo Bills, bankers doubted he'd get NFLs. New York, AP. When Donald Trump tried to buy the Buffalo Bills in 2014, investment bankers doubted the NFL would allow it but encouraged him to stay in the running, according to internal emails aired Tuesday at the former president's civil fraud trial. Trump has little chance of being approved by the NFL, given that he had owned casinos and had a role in the rival USFL's 1980s antitrust suit against the NFL, then Morgan Stanley executive Jon Cornwell wrote to colleagues in April 2014. That being said, his strong show of support doesn't hurt the process. He probably does have the dough, and claimed he'd been courting the NFL, another Morgan Stanley banker, Jeffrey Holzschuh, wrote back, adding, but never know the real facts with him. 3 months later, Trump offered $1 billion cash for the Bills, becoming one of 3 known finalists seeking to buy the team after the death of founder and Hall of Fame owner Ralph Wilson. The owners of the NHL's Buffalo Sabres, Terry and Kim Pegula, ultimately bought the Bills for $1.4 billion. A group led by rock star Jon Bon Jovi had also been interested in acquiring the team. A decade later, Trump's failed Bills bid is one of the business moves under scrutiny in the trial of a lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James. She accuses the ex-president and current Republican 2024 frontrunner of deceiving banks, insurers and others by giving them financial statements that massively inflated the values of his assets. Trump denies any wrongdoing and says his annual statements of financial condition actually lowballed his wealth. He casts the lawsuit as part of an effort by James and other Democrats to choke his campaign. Former President Donald Trump speaks to the media as he exits the courtroom of his civil business fraud trial at New York Supreme Court, Wednesday, October 25, 2023, in New York. AP photo, Yuki Iwamura. Trump had a history with professional football. He'd owned the USFL's New Jersey Generals and led the upstart league to sue the NFL in the mid-1980s, alleging its established rivals had monopolized professional football. The USFL achieved a Pyrrhic victory, with a jury awarding just $1 in damages, multiplied to $3 via court rules and totaling $3.76 with interest once upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. The USFL, which had sought $1.3 billion, folded shortly after. Trump testified in the antitrust case that then NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle floated the idea that he could own an NFL franchise and urged him not to sue. Trump said Rozelle also told him to abandon plans he'd spearheaded to switch the USFL season from the spring to the fall, a move widely blamed for the league's demise. In offering to buy the Bills, Trump cited his net worth as $8 billion in an initial offer letter but never provided his financial statements. His then lawyer Michael Cohen told the bankers that Trump wouldn't release his financial records until told he was the final bidder, according to an email shown in court Tuesday. Instead, at a presentation to the bankers, Trump handed out copies of one of Forbes magazine's lists of wealthy celebrities. Former Morgan Stanley managing director Jon Cornwell testified. Trump was the star of NBC's The Apprentice at the time. Throughout the sale process, Cohen insisted Trump was serious about his bid and his commitment to keeping the Bills in Buffalo. Cohen disputed reports that Trump didn't have the financial resources to pull off the deal, claiming his then boss was worth billions of dollars and pointing to his many properties as proof. There's nobody more serious than Donald Trump, Cohen said in an interview with the Associated Press in 2014. Once the bids were being formally submitted, Cohen conceded to the AP that Trump's bid was not going to win. Cohen explained that Trump wasn't interested in buying the team over market value. The Bills' estimated worth was pegged at $870 million, but the team was projected to sell for up to $1.2 billion. While Trump hadn't provided the financial documents and his bid wasn't the highest, the bankers had told him he could prevail if during the diligence process you can move up in value, according to a document they'd prepared with talking points. Separately, Cornwell wrote to colleagues that they still want to keep him around, and said that Trump had asked to be pre-vetted privately, so the bank would do so. Well, he will stay in process, Holzschuh wrote to Cornwell, adding that Trump is very sensitive about his representative, and didn't want to spend money on the process if the price was going to be too high. Holzschuh said he'd encourage Trump to put his best offer forward. Cornwell testified that since the sale was an open process, the bankers had to talk to all interested parties. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than, but Trump lawyer Christopher Kise suggested the bank essentially strung him along, saying, they never considered him a serious bidder. They took him in to use his name to bid up the price. Trump told the AP in 2016 that had he been able to buy the Bills, it's unlikely that he would have run for president. Time equals 400 ms. greater than, if I bought that team, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, he said. Associated Press reporter John Wara in Buffalo, New York, contributed to this report. Halloween-themed protesters stand in front of New York Supreme Court, where former President Donald Trump is facing fraud charges, Tuesday, October 31, 2023, in New York. AP photo, Seth Vinik. Buffalo Bills fans take a selfie before an NFL football game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills, Thursday, October 26, 2023, in Orchard Park, NY. AP photo, Adrian Krause. Time equals 400 ms. greater than Buffalo Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid waves to fans as he runs off the field following an NFL football game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills, Thursday, October 26, 2023, in Orchard Park, NY. AP photo, Adrian Krause. Former President Donald Trump waits for the continuation of his civil business fraud trial at New York Supreme Court, Wednesday, October 25, 2023, in New York. Spencer Platt. Pool photo via AP. New York Attorney General Letitia James, center-left, waits for the continuation of former President Donald Trump's civil business fraud trial at New York Supreme Court, Wednesday, October 25, 2023, in New York. Dave Sanders, The New York Times. Via AP. Pool.